Because when I see you for ages, you come like a 10 years with it for you.
Yeah, alright, we give all praise unto Yahweh Bashem with the Israelites come out week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of America and to prophesy of the deliverance of the elect of so-called black people, Native American, Hispanic, Latino people, according to the Holy Bible. We come out to teach you the wicked is according to the Bible. We come out to teach the kingdom that's forth to come, that's prophesied within the Bible, that will be given unto the saints of the Most High, the Israelites. Right? So let's take it to look around where we at. Where we at right now. This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates, in the city. She uttereth her word, saying, how long, ye simple ones, if ye love simplicity, and the scorneth the lie, they're scorning. Knowledge, right? So there's a reason why the Most High set up his prophets out here because this is serious, man. And a lot of you so-called blacks, the vast majority of you don't consider the severity of the Most High's agenda. The Most High has blinded the vast majority from receiving the knowledge of your own salvation, right? Because if you check what's going on, you've got a lot of people that are becoming atheists, man, because the times are so wicked, right? And so materialistic, right? Now you have a lot of people that are becoming atheists that don't believe in the Most High. What they say is this. Ecclesiastes 8 verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Right. So because the Most High has not brought forth judgment on the vast majority of our people for the evil of their doing, because don't think people are stupid. People know the difference between good and bad. But people are fully set in them to do what's wrong because there's no wages for what they're doing. So that's why it's tempting a lot of people to believe that there is no God. There is no higher entity. There's no higher God. And that's why people do what they do. But we the prophets have been set up in these last days to remind our people that there will be a judgment to come. And the vast majority of you so-called blacks, your children, will be destroyed in the time to come. And this very same wisdom and this very same doctrine of prophecy will be uttered in the streets, man. So it says, let me read that again. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Speedily, right? See, in the kingdom, sentence against an evil work will be executed speedily. Because the man of sin is bearing rule right now. So therefore, sinful actions or transgressions is legalized. It's legalized. It's almost rewarded, glorified, magnified. You understand? A wicked nation of people is bearing rule, as the scripture says, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So sinful activities is normalized. It's normal to transgress the laws, statutes, and commandments and the ordinances of the Heavenly Father. It's natural. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's normal. Right? But there will be a judgment against these works. Evening, and then come off the beach, look 2 Peter chapter 2. Let me start from verse 5. And spared, let me start from verse 6. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. Right? So, the things that are written aforetime are written for our learning. See, the destruction of ancient Sodom and Gomorrah, that was set as a sign and example for those of us that are here and now, not to live after in the same mannerisms. Now, the scriptures refer to Babylon, this system that we're in, as being spiritual Sodom. Showing you that the people that are people, the so-called blacks and Latinos, you're not moving wisely. You're not discerning the time. They said, that should live ungodly, right? Making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. So basically, ungodliness hasn't been rooted out. We're still living in times of ungodliness where people do not believe in the Most High. Their actions can be even people that profess themselves to be Christians or believers in God, their actions clearly show that they're atheists. They don't fear the Most High. So it said, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. For that righteous man dwelling among them, in seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. And we see that. It says, verse 9, the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. It goes with what I'm saying, you know. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Why? Because the Most High is reserving the people there. He's reserving them. You're not going to execute judgment upon the speedy. The Most High can do that. The Most High can execute judgment speedily upon an individual. Just to show us who are in this belief, in this understanding, why he should be feared. Because when they say every morning he brings his judgments to light. Right? I think that's in Zephyr now. When the Most High reserving the vast majority of our people until the day of judgment, which is nuclear destruction, fire and brimstone. So it said, we'll be that again, verse 9. The Lord, or Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai, knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust until the day of judgment to be punished. So the same punishments are in the way of sinners. I think that's an problem.
That's what I'm saying.
Verse 3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Right. Again, Ecclesiastes 8 verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart, meaning the mind, of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Right, it's fully set in people to do wickedness. Right? Hold on.
Do you know the parking spot?
This camera.
Then he come up. Please turn on location.
It's fully set in the hearts and minds of the people. The truth said most times when all their courts.
Then he come up. Please turn on location. Okay. People about to walk up to the bus again.
My girlfriend got Kingston. But we left that Kingston. We left over and we left around here. I'll Kingston to eat breakfast. Well, after the first time I got that Kingston, I want to come and see it. Welcome to Kingston and them. I say, Ali, look at me. Ali, look at me.
I want me only go me only house. And by the time I reach back in the old house, I go to the house, but I go to tell me something they are mom.
Let me read this anyway. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 3, verse 29. For when I came thither and had seen impieties without number, then my soul saw many evildoers in the 30th year, so that my heart failed me. Right, we're seeing many evildoers. Just by standing out here, you can see the way that these people are moving towards. These people, they don't think about the Most High at all. They have no fear of the Most High. Now, when you go into the book of Genesis, it tells you how Abraham, when he came, I believe it's to a certain Hamitic region, I believe the king of that region was called Ahimelech or Abimelech. He was with his wife, and he told Sarah, just to tell people you're my sister. Just tell people you're my sister. Why? Because surely the fear of the Most High is not in this place. Right, so 2nd Ezra 3 verse 30 now. For I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning and has spared wicked doers and has destroyed thy people and has preserved thine enemies and has not signified it. Right. So the Most High suffering them sinning. Why? Because he's reserving them until the day of judgment. That's what our people don't consider, because they think that because the Most High is not doing nothing, they believe that he doesn't exist. They don't believe in, they don't have any fear of the Most High, and they don't believe in judgment to come. Why? Because, you know, they've had so many false prophets, so many false teachers, that our people doubt the scriptures, they doubt the validity of the Bible. Right? But the scripture says he set us, the apostles, lost. He set us lost. So it says, for I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning, and hast spared wicked doers, and hast destroyed thy people. Right? So you so-called blacks, so-called black people, you're destroyed. The scriptures is telling you this. And has preserved thine enemies. Who are the enemies of the Most High? Who are the enemies of us, the Israelites? The so-called white man, the white woman, their children, the East Indians, the Chinese. The Most High is preserving them. That's why it almost looks as if they're blessed. Okay? Which they are. Okay, the Most High has blessed Esau with the fatness of the earth, but they're also the cursed when you go into Isaiah the 34th chapter. So it says, and has preserved thy enemies and has not signified it. I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than they of Zion? So what are people that have no knowledge of the Most High's judgments? They would think that they of Babylon, meaning the modern day Babylonians, which is really Esau, that they're better than us. Because the Most High has preserved them and has destroyed us. Right? That's why the scripture says in Malachi, it says, wherein hast thou loved us? You know, Most High loved Jacob and hated Esau. You know, people would turn around and say, how have you loved us? Right? So it says, verse 32, or is there any other people that knoweth thee beside Israel? Or what generation have so believed thy covenants as Jacob? Right. So it's almost like, what's the point of keeping the covenants of the Most High? If people that are without the covenants of the Most High preserve them. He preserved the wicked, but then destroyed his own heritage. So it says, and yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor have no fruit. Right, because when you go into Hebrews 11, you had our ancient forefathers like Abraham, David, Solomon. You had certain
Shalom, brother. I've been good. I just wanted to a brother that I know, and because like last year I didn't owe him money and I couldn't get to pay him £10, and I was planning to pay him this Friday, you know. I was planning to get my money, put it in the drawer, and call him when I get credit, and call him, give him my new number and give it to him. And the brother was angry. Oh, if he give me back the money, I'm going to give it to charity. He's not a believer, and I'm trying to show the brother I was going through a lot of stress, a lot of problems. He just don't want to know.
You want to know about the truth?
No, he don't want to know that I was going through a lot of problems and that I want to pay him £10 and I want to pay him. Because
a lot of people, they've been defrauded, so you don't trust him.
Yeah, it's true. And I tried to pay him back, and I will pay him back. I said to him, what I'm going to do when I get the money, my money, I'm going to put the £10 in my drawer, I'm going to ring him up, and text him. I said, brother, when you're free, come and meet me. He's working. I said, when you're free, come and meet me. The money's in the drawer, as I said. I'm going to get that money and come and give it to you for you to collect. I'm honest. God knows my heart. God knows. I said, God, I promise. I said, God, help me to pay off all my debts, what I owe this year. You know what I mean? And do much more to provide for me with the work. The Most High know. The Most High know I'm coming into the truth. I want to be clean. I want to be honest. You know what I mean? I want to pay off all the debts what I owe people with money. I don't want to be burdened. I don't want to help out others.
You gotta pray about it.
You know what I mean? And I'm praying about it, bro. I'm praying about it and ask the Most High, Yeshua, to help me. Yeshua, to help me. Yeah, brother.
You know, I'm not here to this word, so when you listen to this, right? Second Ezra 3, verse 33. And yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor have no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth, and think not upon thy commandments. Right, because our reward appeareth not. Us as a nation, we've always like trusted in the Most High and the kingdom to come, but they all died without that reward appearing.
Yes,
you know what I mean? So just because the Most High hasn't brought forth his judgment upon planet Earth, that doesn't mean to say that he won't do it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say is that right now I can see our people, they're fully set to do, you know, covetousness and following the ways of the imagination of their own mind.
Yeah, and
Because judgment hasn't come yet.
And of the even, you know what I mean, of the even, shopping, this, that, worldly entertainment, everything. They're like, look,
That's part of deception.
that's part of deception.
See, that's the stumbling stone that the Most High put in front of our feet.
Yes,
You have to understand that even though they might look nice and everything, they might look nice and well-to-do, you know what I mean? You're really better than them in the sense where you've woken up, you're on a higher level.
it's true. I've woken up.
Your mind has been upgraded.
You don't know that the churches are corrupt and the churches is a tool of Satan.
That's right.
Well, I mean, and the truth is not the 12 Israelites and the teaching about of the Most High, Yahushua. That's a true teaching. And I'm trying to show people that, brother, but they're not listening. They don't want to know.
Exactly, yeah.
They don't want to know.
Yeah, because the Most High reserving them until the day of judgment. He's reserving them. So even though you might try and hit them with the truth, the Most High put a block on them where the Most High reserving them to be destroyed, to be punished.
Even my daughters are crying. I said, Most High, Yahushua, save them.
And yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor have no fruit. Right? So even though you might come out here and listen to the word and watch these videos, you're not going to get any fruit as of now. Like the reward is not going to appear now. So, and again, that's part of the testing. So even certain brothers that's giving this truth is that coming out here teaching year after year after year can seem kind of boring, especially when you're teaching the same thing.
It's a pleasure. It's a joy. And it's a joy.
Right.
And it's a joy to spread the word of Yahushua and let the people know. No matter how stiff-necked they are, they've got to know. They say in the judgment day they could never say that they never know. They never know that Yahushua has showed them the truth. That you spread the word, that the brothers and sisters spread the truth and show people the word. You know, and show them the word.
That's because right now, like I said, let the Most High be true and every man a liar. So everything that's outside of this truth pretty much is all spirits on the left-hand side. They're set up to deceive and lead astray the vast majority of our people. And so they will be deceived until the day of judgment. What does it say? I believe said this. Hold on. What does it say? 2 Thessalonians. This is 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 1. But in times and of the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. You see what I'm saying? So it says, they shall say peace and safety. So that's part of the deception. Right now, look at our nation.
Yes, it's a nation. Peace and safety.
They're not even safe from Babylon because if you see over there in America, our people are being killed over there.
Being killed over there.
A lot of our people don't even
look what happened when I cried when you tell me that the girl died, the 16-year-old sister died, and they lynched her. Lynched her and told lies that she hung herself.
She committed suicide.
How could she commit suicide? How could somebody in the right mind tie their hand together? If they tie their hand together, how could they be able to kill herself? That's impossible.
Then there was another thing this recently here. A young old, see that where he went to school and he basically committed suicide because the white Edomite school children were bullying him about his race. The little children committing suicide. You know, so our people, they're very comfortable in this place because they think that this place is the be all and end.
And it's not the be all and end. These people,
there was even another incident where a 19-year-old man, I forget his name, but his dead body got found in the attic of this racist white man.
And the police not doing nothing, they're the perpetrators of it all.
They're not even basically trying to say that it was the white man that did it. But obviously all the proof is there in it because he's a racist.
Yeah, he's a racist because he's in his attic as well.
Yeah, attic.
It's in his attic. What does that mean? That means that he done it.
Right.
Everything's
say
there.
about
Let's just lock him up. Let's just lock him up.
He's good at amateur night.
He has his judgment.
right.
He has his judgment. The Most High going to send him to hell. Send him in the lake of fire.
But the lake, hell, you know there's no such thing as actual hell. Hell is on earth.
On earth, yeah.
It's hell, the first heavens and first earth.
Yes.
It's on earth, right?
It's true.
So hell is also, hell means a severe state of degradation.
Yeah.
Or very low condition. You know what I mean? The grave.
Yeah, the grave. Shiloh.
Right.
Shiloh. Grave.
So 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Right? So let me look up the word Satan. Right?
Satan, the deceiver. Sister.
And you know, somebody here can late. And they say, just take a T5 and go home. Then when you want to go and they say, I don't know why you want it.
Just come, brother.
Just come.
Yeah. I thought as much. Good timing. Good timing, because you said you was going to be on Monday and I came, you know what I mean? I was coming from there, from that way and coming down, you know? And I said, let me pass through Brixton to see the brother. I know he'll be here.
So it says, right, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. When you look at the word Satan. Adversary. It says adversary, one who opposes another in purpose or act.
Yes.
The name given. The prince of evil spirits,
Yes.
the inveterate adversary of God and Hawashai, right?
Yes. True.
So pretty much, Satan is the prince of evil spirits, but he's working on behalf of the Most High. Satan is a son of God. When you go into the book of Job, it tells you how
The sons of God came and gathered together
Satan
to the Most High, and Satan was amongst them.
exactly. So it says he's not the adversary of God. He's actually a servant of God. Satan is a servant of God. He's a son of God. Right, so it says,
But God threw him out of heaven. God expelled him.
no. Satan walks to and fro on the earth. When it said that Satan was cast out of heaven, that's a metaphorical expression referring to the so-called white man.
Okay.
He is Satan.
Yeah, he's
I'm proving it to you. It says,
wow. But the Bible said, why did the Bible says in Revelation that she the great dragon, Satan?
exactly. I'm not going to. So it says, he incites apostasy from God and to sin, right? So he called him the man of sin.
Yeah.
It's again Esau.
Yeah. So,
Circumventing men by his wiles, the worshippers of idols, by his demons is able to take possession of men and inflict them with diseases. That's what happened to Job.
yeah, that's what happened to Job. Yeah.
Right? So it says, on Christ's return from heaven, he will be bound with chains for 1,000 years.
That's right.
And when the 1,000 years are finished, he will walk the earth in yet greater power, but shortly after will be given over to eternal punishment. Again, that's talking about Esau. Because during the Dark Ages, he had him in slavery. But now, he's in greater power right now.
This is true.
And when Yahushua returns, he's going to be put into a hellish condition.
Yes.
He's going to be put into slavery.
Yes.
And you read it says, look, the Satan-like man.
Yes. Wow.
See that? That's the last one, the Satan-like man. So you know when you go into Thessalonians, when it says, verse 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs of lying wonders. You see, so that's the so-called white man.
Yes.
Because it's a man, it says even him.
Yes.
You see how people think that when it talks about the devil and Satan, that's talking about the spiritual demons. It's a metaphorical expression referring to Esau.
Yes, Esau. Yeah.
So
Now I
again,
understand.
and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, the joy of our people,
Yes.
because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
Saved. Yes. Yes.
See,
Yes.
so the Most High set up the so-called white man to deceive the vast majority of
Yes.
us.
Yes.
That's why you see them doing the things that they're doing now.
It's true. It's true.
Okay.
And and the Most High said we must learn their ways and their culture and their law, their precepts and things like that. And that's what our people have done. Learn their ways and things like that and things of the world and you know what I mean? They deceive.
Right. So again, when you look at the word Satan, it's Satan like
Satan like man. Yeah.
Always remember that when you look at the word Satan and when you go to this precept there,
Yeah.
right? The verse 11. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie.
Lie. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And let me show you something. In 2 Kings,
Hello, Mr. How are you? Yeah, you know, absolutely. The place is closed because me and Andrew went there after 11 and it's closed because it's bank holiday. Today, even Moses Clubhouse is closed. I'm in Brixton at the moment and it's very hot, very hot. I'm so shocked. I said to myself, I don't know what to do. Brother Andrew said tomorrow
the sons of my eye,
he's going to come back when it's open. He's going to come back when it's open. He can't do it today. There's certain places open and certain places closed. You know, so it's really sad. I feel down that I couldn't get to go to the place because it's closed. But what can I do? It's closed. I've got everything with me. I carried everything with me. I met Andrew. Then we went into KFC, I got chicken and chips for me, and then he got
This is First Kings.
And then from there, he went to
1 verse, First Kings chapter 22,
then I come back down.
verse 18. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? And he said, hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. Right? Meaning the spirits on the right hand side and the spirits on the left hand side. Meaning the spirit, you have spirits of evil, you have certain spirits of vengeance, you have certain spirits that are praying for evil, to fulfill evil works on planet Earth, and you have spirits on the right hand side, the Most High is created to do good things, right? That's what that means. It doesn't mean literally spirits on that side and spirits on that side. This means there was a multitude of spirits that were for evil, demons, evil angels, and there was an abundance of righteous spirits. So it said, and he said, hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. So the Most High pretty much beckoning with his spirits, right? The angels and demons, and saying, listen, which one of you is going to go forth and persuade Ahab? And they all, some said this and some said they're going to do that. And they came forth in spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, I will persuade him. And Yahweh said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Right. So the Most High gave confirmation to that spirit to go and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. So it said, now therefore behold, Yahweh hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and Yahweh has spoken evil concerning thee. Right. They're showing you that there's a lying spirit that's deceived the vast majority of our nation. that they receive not the love of the truth. Let me read that. It says, 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 10, and of all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth that they might be saved. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned to believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. It says the majority of our people, they got pleasure in unrighteousness. Why? Because they're haters, they don't believe in the Most High.
It's true. They're haters, they hate with one another and hate the word of the Most High and a lot of things.
Right, that's what it says.
Materialistic things.
Yeah, because it actually tells you that whoso despises the word.
Despises of the word. Never ended.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. So the same way there's a spirit that's deceived the vast majority of our people, that they should believe in that. There's a spirit that leads us to this truth. There's a spirit on you right now to hear this word.
Yes. True.
There's a spirit on our people to walk past it.
And don't want to know the word.
To not repent.
To not repent. To repent to come to the Most High, to the knowledge of the Most High, and seek Him and find Him and walk with Him. And know the truth, for the truth would enlighten them and free them and save them. They just want to think about worldly things, worldly pleasure, you know, everything to do with this world and not the Most High. We're not looking at spiritual things.
Right, because it says
physical.
It says 2 Ezra chapter 8 verse 55. And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. I mean, you shouldn't really be even concerned with the majority of your people, because you got certain Israelite camps that say, you shouldn't speak evil about the 2/3. You should love them. No, if you go to the Bible, there was prophets that prayed against their own people.
It's true.
Like Jeremiah prayed against the 2/3 of Israel.
The 2/3 of Israel because they were doing evil.
Prayed against them. So when you see our people, even though it might be of your flesh, if you check them, they hate this truth.
They hate the truth.
They don't believe in this truth. They don't believe in the salvation of the elect. They don't believe in the kingdom. They don't even, they're atheists. They don't believe in God. Their works clearly show that. Like I guarantee, if you was to go to any of these people, any of our people, and talk about God to them, they don't want to know.
They don't want to know. They don't want to hear it.
They do not want to hear it.
They don't want to hear the truth. They look at you
like you're crazy.
They look at you as if you're crazy. You know what I mean? When you tell them about the Sabbath, and the Sabbath is a Saturday, and we've got to keep the Sabbath, it's one of the 10 Commandments, they don't want to know.
They don't want to know.
They don't want to know that.
They are blocking the
Yes, they don't want to know. They don't want to know. They don't want to know that the 10 Commandments is, you know what I mean? They don't want to know.
So it says, and therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. And it said, them that perish, there's a multitude of them. It didn't say there's like a couple of our people that's going to perish. It said a multitude of our people will perish. So be prepared to see the vast majority of so-called black people get wiped out in the time to come. Be prepared to see the majority of Latinos, Hispanics, Mexicans get wiped out in the time to come. They ask no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. Meaning, the Most High they're already sealed for death.
Yeah, they are.
The majority of our people, they're sealed, man.
Majority of our people are sealed.
And really, when you come in the truth, you learn to hate your people. I say it's like a love-hate situation.
Yes, it's true.
You might love them because when you see them getting shot down, it might give you pain.
It gives you pain. It does.
But at the same time, you gotta know that it's for the wickedness of
their doings. And they won't change, bro.
They really got a middle finger up towards Yahweh and it's Yahweh Shai.
It's true.
All our women are wicked. They're walking around showing off their bodies.
Showing off their bodies. Look at the tattoo on her.
They're all wicked as hell.
Wicked.
And all the men,
and you must admire your skin.
All so-called black men, they're all adulterers.
They're all adulterers. Wicked.
Don't fuck your woman.
Exactly. They won't. Without questioning anything.
Without a doubt. And then they'll step to you with a smile on their face.
With a smile on their face, yes.
And shake your hand and say, yeah, love and blessing.
Love and blessing. Then they will go with the woman. Evil.
Our people are wicked
Evil,
as hell.
wicked,
So
man.
that's why I said don't be concerned with the majority of our people because if we're not in this truth,
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's true.
And
It's
for-
true. And her too. It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true, brother.
So it said,
Let them go. Let them go.
right? Because it said let go 2nd Ezra 9
Yes.
verse 20. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that will come into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a great of the cluster, and a plant of a great people.
Yes.
Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. And let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Right? So this is let the multitude perish that was born in vain.
Yes.
That's the majority of our people.
Yes.
Meaning they was born in vain. They were
born in
born,
vain.
they lived their life, had their experiences in life, and it
Yes.
was for nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
was
It's
for
like as
nothing.
if they weren't even meant to live.
weren't even
They weren't even supposed to live if they got no purpose.
You see,
They're
look,
not fulfilling their
look at Jay,
purpose.
look at Jay.
I know.
Look at Jay. Let the multitude perish that was born in vain, man.
I know. The youth, look at them.
Look at them,
I know.
man.
Look at them. I know.
You see them going about, and their life means a lot to them.
Mean a lot to them, but it
You know,
don't mean
their
nothing.
experiences means that they're going through depression,
Nothing.
happiness, all these different things.
Yeah.
And it was all for nothing.
Nothing. For vain, for nothing.
Let the multitude perish. The same ones you're so concerned with them, and the scripture says they're born in vain.
They're
Right?
born in vain. Don't worry about them. They're born in vain.
But then it said, and
Muslims,
let
you
my
can't talk to them. They don't want to know.
right. So
You
it
know?
said
They don't wanna
and
know.
let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Right. So who's the ones that's been made perfect? Us.
Us. That's
Through
right.
this wisdom, through this knowledge of how much and how shy we've been made perfect unto salvation.
That's right.
The scripture says this.
Hold on, that's your name.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 15.
Yes.
And that from a child that has known the Holy Scriptures.
Yes. Yes.
Meaning when we're born to this truth, we'll come like children and babes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because when I was a baby, I didn't
Yes.
know nothing about this.
And me too. And me too.
So that's
And
not
me
talking
too.
literally.
And me too.
Yeah, I already got that. You gave it to my
You know me? Yeah, I know you.
Okay, take it. So it says, and that from a child that has known the Holy Scriptures, which are able to make you wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Hamashiach Yahushua. Right? So you get saved off of the strength of His truth.
Yes.
It says all Scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect,
Perfect.
thoroughly furnished unto all good works.
That's right.
So it's showing you there that when it says remember it said that it says that the man of the Most High may be perfect, right?
That's right.
So it said 2 Ezra 9 verse 22, right? Let the multitude perish then which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept,
Yes.
and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect.
Yes.
So we've been made perfect
Perfect with the truth. Yes.
and let that grape be kept. So we're going to be kept
We're going to be kept
from the tribulation
from the
and torments
tribulation
to
and
come.
torment to come. And the locals eating people and all them things, isn't it?
Exactly. So-
Tormenting them and
famine is
tormenting them.
coming.
Famine is coming. and
Severe
tormenting them for so much times, isn't it?
Right.
Years, isn't it? 3 years, isn't it? 3 years. Is it 3 years? 3.5 years they're going to be tormented. The people, the unbelievers, they're going to be tormented with the locusts and things like that.
Okay. You're talking about Revelation.
Revelations, yeah.
Okay, but I'm going to go into that later.
Yeah.
Right? This is 2 Ezra chapter 8 and 55.
Yeah.
And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of His law, and forsook His ways. Moreover, they have trodden down His righteous. Who is the righteous?
We are.
The elect.
We're elect.
Well, Lord willing, we're
Elect.
the elect.
Lord willing, we're the elect. Yes. Yes.
It says they've trodden down us. I mean, how did they tread us down?
They suppress us. They
How?
suppress us in a lot of ways. Jobs, everything.
No, really, when I say
Oppress
the
us.
majority of our people. The
Have us in
multitude,
slavery, the mind.
That's the white man.
Yeah.
When I say the multitude of our people that perish, they have trodden down his righteous.
Yeah, they are. They don't want to know the truth, the knowledge. They don't want to come into the knowledge. They reject it. They reject us. They put us aside. They ostracize us. They don't want to know us.
That's how they tread us down.
That's how they treat us.
By making mockery of us.
Making mockery of us.
Understand?
Yeah.
Like some of us even want to kill us.
things.
It's good to say Jerusalem, Jerusalem. Now that killers
That
thy prophets.
is our prophets. Yes.
And killers them that are sent unto you.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
So that shows that those of our people that walk past,
It's true.
they show you that they are the ones that killed the prophet.
That killed the
ones that
prophets.
said, let his blood be upon us and our children.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So they said,
That's what they said.
moreover, they have trodden down his righteous and said in their heart that there is no God.
God
Yea, and that knowing they must die.
died.
You see that?
Yes.
So now, if you go into a so-called black person or Latino or Hispanic and ask them whether they believe in God, they'll say yeah.
They'll say yeah. And they don't.
They don't.
They don't.
Their actions.
The action speaks show differently.
Right. They say they honour me with their lips.
With their lips.
With their mind.
Far from it, from their hearts and their minds.
So
It's true.
they've said that there is no God.
It's true.
And there was a nigga last week that came up talking enough shit, saying, "Oh, where is your God? Where is the Most High? Where is he?" And he was a so-called black man. You said, "Yeah, where's the Most High? Where is he? Bring him here." So, and I'm thinking, when I saw that nigga, I was looking at him like, "Wow, this man has no fear,
No fear. No fear of the
no
Most High.
fear,
No fear.
He doesn't even at least consider
No, I don't.
that there
Oh.
might be a judgment.
Exactly. Exactly.
To have a little bit of fear inside.
Fear
of him.
inside of him.
This
No
man
fear.
stood right in front of me and had
Bold.
And this man wasn't like a bum or nothing like that. He looked like a normal so-called black man.
So-called black man. Yeah.
I don't even want to call him an Israelite because he
No,
doesn't
he's not
deserve
an
to be.
Israelite. He's not an
a nigger.
Israelite. He's a nigger. It's true. It's true. It's true.
So I said this, right? Verse 59. For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them.
Yes.
Thirst and pain, you know?
Yes.
Right now I'm standing here, I'm a little bit hungry.
Yes. Yes, brother.
And let a week go past, we have melted.
Yes, brother. Yes, brother. True. Because many times I fast, brother. I fast and pray. Fast and don't eat. Just drink water. And just fast. The Most High. Yahweh Shai. But for things like for a job that I can help myself and get off the system. I don't want to be in the system. I'm on benefits. I don't want to be on the system no more.
I'm on benefits too.
Yeah, I'm on benefits
I'm
too.
on benefits too.
I'm on benefits. I don't want to be on benefits no more. I want to just work and earn a little money and be able to help myself.
You have to understand that.
But it's hard.
Right now,
Yeah.
I've got to go to court because they might disqualify me from driving. Because I've got a little offense.
Yeah. The Most High
I
will
might
work.
argue and say that because the first two offences that I committed, I did it unknowingly.
Yes, you did it unknowingly. Yeah.
So but anyway, that's my cross. That's whatever problems or issues that you
Yes.
have going on.
Yes.
That's your
Yeah, my
portion.
cross. Yeah, that's my portion. Yeah.
And the Most High might not even answer your prayer.
Yes, true.
You might not answer your prayer because
Yes.
that's sufficient for you. The
Yes.
Most High wants you to do.
Yes. Yes.
The Most High is not going to give you something
Yes,
that
it's true. It's true. That will be sufficient. That will be sufficient. That it won't give me the work, certain work, because you know that will draw me away. You know what I mean? So I have to be content in wherein I am. Be content in the state that I am. I'm giving thanks. I've got life every day. I've got breath to breathe. Yeah, I watch it, bro. I watch it.
Hold on, let me try and find it.
It's true, it's sufficient is enough. It's grace is sufficient enough. You know, whatever state we're in, whatever state we're in. His grace and his mercy is sufficient enough. Whatever state we're in, you know.
That's not the 1 Corinthians 10 and 34. It's on 1 Corinthians.
And then you just listen to the
10 and 13. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. Right, so it says 12. Let's start verse 12. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. Ye have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful. He will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. So the Lord's not going to give you something above
True, that you can't bear.
that you can't bear.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, yes.
So
It's-
what
it's
this,
sufficient. It's
whatever's
grace.
been given to you, that
Yes.
you've got to deal with it.
Yes, I've got to deal with that.
You know what I mean?
And thank the Most High to bear with it.
Exactly, because that's
with it.
sufficient for you.
That's
You might pray and the Most High will answer
Yes,
it.
it's true, it's true, it's true. Because many times I pray for work, for job, and I apply for job and I don't get
And
it.
you don't get it.
And I don't get it. So the Most High is
The
telling
Lord,
me
exactly,
something.
because the Most High man will give you
Yes.
something the way you want it.
Yes, true, true, true.
He will give it to you in a way that's
In a way that's
sufficient.
sufficient for me. Yes. So I've got to wait on him and just keep praying and keep persevering.
Exactly. Because like, even when
Yeah,
you're
don't
suffering,
worry. Yeah, don't worry.
like Job, when he was suffering,
Yes,
he
yes.
didn't sin with his lips.
No, he didn't. He didn't. He thanked the Most High. He praised the Most High.
thanked
So I'll
the
just
Most High.
continue praising him. Keep
Right.
thanking him for what position I'm in, and what situation I'm in. Just keep praising him. Keep praising him. So thank the Most High. Thank you, for my position, for what I'm in, and where I'm at.
Right. So I said,
I know he's blessing me, and he's blessing you as well, brother. He's blessing his elected, blessing
right.
us.
This is Job 1, verse 12.
Yes.
And Yahweh said unto Satan,
Yes.
Behold, all that he have is in thy power.
Yes.
Meaning, the Most High will give all that Job has
Yes.
into the hands of
All his
Satan.
substance, everything, his wealth, everything.
Just like we as a people,
Yes.
the Most High gave us as a people over to Satan.
Yes.
You understand?
It's true.
And that's why we're fucked up.
It's true.
It says, only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahweh. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. Right? So it said, in their eldest brother's house, and there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell you. Right? Let me start this one to 2. Let me start here. Verse 19. Let me jump to verse 19. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the four corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell you. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return home. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of Yahweh. In all this, Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. That's right. You got to deal with whatever it is that comes upon you.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I said. Though the Lord saved me, though I will maintain my trust in Him.
Yes, and me too. And me too. Right. And me too. I was looking at.
So I said this, Job chapter 13, verse 15.
Yes.
Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him.
Yes.
But I will maintain mine own ways before him. Right. So though the Lord slay you,
Yes.
strike you with like you might lose your woman.
Yes.
Sickness,
Sickness.
you must maintain
Yes.
trust in because of the word temptation.
Yes.
He's a test or a
Yes.
trial of a man's heart.
Yes.
The Lord is testing you.
Yes.
You know, whether you're strong
Strong
or weak.
or weak. Yes, true. Yes.
Like most man, like when you're suffering, you think that God is not doing that for me.
He will. We've got to take the suffering and keep on marching. Keep on marching forward and look up to him. Look to him. And thank him for our sufferings, as well as for everything. Sufferings, good times, bad times, everything. You know, my mum passed away recently. You know, I thank Yahweh for her life, you know. She believes in him and she's worshiping him.
Scriptures refer to us as the improvements.
That's right, pilgrims.
What's a pilgrim?
Going through.
Right. Meaning this is not our rest.
It's not our rest, we're passing by.
Right. It's a spiritual traveler.
Spiritual traveler.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
So therefore, a spiritual traveler,
Yes.
we take no comfort in the place that we're in.
Or in our comfort zone.
Exactly.
We have to get out of it.
Exactly. We're seeking a better place.
Seeking a better place.
You understand? So this place is not for us. I mean,
That's right.
That's why you're being afflicted right now.
That's right. That's right. I am.
So Proverbs 30.
And I've got to thank Yahweh for that riches.
Verse
I'll be happy with it.
Proverbs 30 verse 7. 2 things have I required of you. Deny me them not before I die.
That's right.
Remove far from me vanity and lies.
That's right.
Give me neither poverty nor riches.
That's right.
Feed me with food convenient for me.
Convenient for me. Yes.
Understand? So
Yes.
in the kingdom to come,
Yes.
we're gonna have
better.
riches.
We're gonna have riches.
Yes.
Yes.
Far beyond
Yes. Far
we can
beyond
even
what we
imagine.
can imagine.
But right now, give me neither poverty
Yes.
nor riches. Neither one of them.
That's right.
And give me food
That can sustain me. Sustain me for the day, today.
Exactly.
Yes.
But why? Let's find out why. Verse 9. Lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is Yahweh? Meaning when you're rich, because you've got your mind set on your goods,
Yes,
you forget about the Most
Forget
High.
about the Most High.
Remember what I told you, I read to you about, I walk through the heathen and see that they flow in wealth and they think not upon the Most High's commandments. Because they set their mind upon their wealth, their goods.
They did, yeah. Just like with a rich young man. Remember the rich young man when he came to Yahweh and he said that from when I was young, I keep all the commandments. What shall I do to inherit eternal life? And Yahweh said, give up your goods.
Give away
Give
your
away your
goods.
goods. Give them away to the poor. Give them away to the poor and follow me.
Right,
Take up
right,
your cross
right.
and follow me. Follow the Most High, Yahweh and give up your riches.
Give up the world.
Give up the world and give up your riches.
Forsake your
Forsake your way
and come follow
and come follow after me. And he didn't.
And he couldn't do
And he
that.
couldn't
Why?
do that.
Because he had so much goods.
He did.
Sometimes riches can be
An
stumbling stones.
stumbling block. For people, so you're worried about people getting it, it could be a curse. For people, so you'll be thinking, oh, this person's after my riches to kill me. You know what I mean? My woman is after my riches to kill me. She's gonna poison me. You know what I mean? Poison my food, and when I eat it, I die. And she get all the riches. And he's worried about that. So what he'll do, he'll cook his own food, or he'll watch his wife be cooking the food, and he'll be there. You know what I mean? And the wife said, relax, honey, sit down. And he go, no, honey, I just want to be with you in the kitchen. Well, really, he's in his mind, he's thinking, oh, she's gonna poison me to get all my riches and kill me off. Even though they've got police, he's gonna be thinking that because he's thinking about his worldly goods.
Think about the worldly goods. You see,
Right is becoming wrong.
but there's a scripture.
Wrong becoming right.
Or his friends in business. His friend, he may think, oh, I don't trust my friend in business. My friend is going to rob me of my money, of my wealth. You know what I mean? So he's thinking about his wealth. The people them around him, he's going to be shrewd with them in business because he's that they're going to rob him of his riches. You know what I mean? So he's worried about that. He's worried, he's got worries on his mind, he can't sleep at night. You know what I mean? Tossing and turning.
Raising your still up.
You know what I mean? Because he's thinking about his riches and not the Most High. Yahweh is not thinking about Yahweh and giving his riches to the poor and helping the poor. You know what I mean? And sharing his wealth. So Yahweh can bless him. And bless him and so that you're giving away your riches. And you're obeying me and you're honoring me and you're worshiping me. You know, I will take away your riches from you, and I will bless you, and learn of my ways and everything, and learn of me, and I'm sufficient enough than your riches, because I've got far more better riches for you to come. Because we're pilgrimage. When we were pilgrim, we're spiritual travelers.
You see that?
We're not here for to stay, we're traveling through.
Hold on.
I have quoted scriptures to you.
Luke 16. Right.
Understanding
Hold on.
not from our own ideas. People of wisdom, you're listening to me.
Hold on, bear with me.
Yeah, I'm here with you, brother.
You know, we love you guys. We really do. We care about you so much. You know, about your eternity. Have you ever asked yourself, where are you going to spend for eternity when you die from this life? Because one day we will stand before
So this is
the living God, the King of Kings,
Matthew chapter 19.
and we have to give an account to the Lord for everything that we have said, everything we've done.
Verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good?
None is good.
There is none good but one.
But one,
That is the Most High.
the Most High.
But thou will enter into life, keep the commandments.
That's right.
So you must keep the commandments.
Commandments.
He saith unto him, Which? Yahweh said, Thou shalt do no murder.
That's right.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
That's right.
Thou shalt not steal.
That's right.
Thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor thy father and thy mother. And thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Chill.
Right? The young man, because remember he's a young man now,
Yes, he's a young man.
saith unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet?
Your riches.
Yahweh said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast,
Yes.
and give to the poor,
That's right.
and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. Right? That's right. But let me continue reading. That's the point, verse 22. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. See that? So if you're rich in this world, man, if you're rich in possessions, man, like you got a lot of things going, you got a business, you have money, you know, you got things kicking off in your business, and you got a woman thinking about getting married, have children there, that could be a curse.
That's what we're cursed.
That'd be a curse.
A curse to you because you know why? Because your mind is not on the other side.
Right.
And the things of heavenly things.
Yeah, but especially if you come across a prophet, the prophet tells you, listen, this place is condemned,
That's right.
and the kingdom is to come. Those of our people that don't subject themselves unto the ordinance of the Most High now, you're going to be reserved for the day of punishment. So the Most High will take your goods away and destroy you,
Yes.
your wife,
Yes.
your riches, and your business.
And you end up with nothing.
You know, with nothing. But now, if you subject yourself into the will of the Most High, you preserve yourself, and the Most High will give you 100-fold.
That's right.
In the kingdom to come.
That's how the kingdom comes. And you give your riches to the poor.
Right.
Your riches to the poor.
Right.
And help out the orphans, the widowers, the fatherless, the motherless, you know, the poor Israelites, young children, and man and woman, and you give your riches to them.
See what I'm saying?
And you help them, the Most High will bless you.
Because the money that you have right now is not even real money.
No, it's not real money. Not real money.
People would take pleasure in this type
Not real
of money.
money.
It's not even real
Not
money.
even real money. Because back then, the Israelites used to trade with silver and gold and material things like cloth and things like that for cattle and sheep, and oxen. That was the money.
That was the real money.
That was the real money.
Let me read it to you. This is Matthew
And
10.
food and wine.
Matthew 10 verse 7. And as he go, preach, very top of verse 5. These 12 Yahweh shall send forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles,
That's right.
and into any city of the Samaritans,
That's
enter
right.
ye not, but go rather into the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Israel.
Right?
Lost sheep for Israel.
And as he go, Preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely as ye receive, freely give, right? Provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purse.
That's right.
So that's real money.
That's real
gold,
money.
silver,
Gold,
brass,
silver, brass,
metals, precious
metal.
man.
That's money. That's money. That's right.
So it says
gold, silver, and brass.
Let me read it. It says, provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purses. Right? So that man had purses, like you had strapped round and they put thing in it. Nor script for your journey, neither 2 coats, neither shoes, nor yet staves. For the workman is worthy of his meat. What do you think that means about the workman is worthy of his meat?
That it must come without these things. It must come without gold.
Don't guess. You got to be careful about how you interpret the scriptures.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what I'm saying,
well, I don't know.
Right.
Worthy of his meat.
Right. Meaning,
I'm still learning.
And the gospel that we are sharing with you. People.
Right, yeah, because when they said
We think
It's balanced, bro. It's balanced.
yeah, there's probably loads in there with the Most High. Yeah, man.
Tell me, brother. It just said though, when it says that he's worthy of his meat, what does that mean, brother?
Right, meaning we're worthy for our meat. The meat is like people are supposed to provide these things for us.
Yes.
We're not going to carry like gold and silver and brass and 2 coats and 2 coats. People are going to provide these things for us because we're worthy for this. Because we're teaching this word.
Yes.
So they're supposed to look after us.
Yes.
You know, they're going to provide us a place to stay at.
Yes.
Like a lodging.
Yes.
Like Paul and the apostles.
Yes.
They had no certain dwelling place.
No, they didn't.
They were provided lodging, a place, that's why I said foxes have holes.
Yes.
And
yes.
something was a den, but the Son of Man have no
have
place.
No place to rest his head.
Exactly, because right now we're walking as pilgrims.
Yes.
Meaning we have no security or confidence in this place.
This place is done.
Right. Because this is all about faith, because faith is what?
Faith.
If we have no proof to say that this place is condemned, we have no physical proof.
No.
Everything that we trust in is based upon faith.
That's right, faith and spiritual.
You understand? Like if I go up to somebody and I say, listen, there's no point in you starting up your business and getting married because this place is destroyed. This is the proof. Look at the proof.
Yes.
You have no nothing that can be put in the media and say, this is the proof this place will be destroyed. It's all rest on this.
Yes. It mentioned that this place is going to be destroyed anyway.
Hebrews chapter 11.
It's going to be destroyed with fire.
Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1.
Yeah.
Right? Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So this is our evidence. These scriptures. That's the evidence that this place will be destroyed. Him that have ears to hear, let him hear. Him that have eyes to see, let him see these things, man. But it's a spiritual sense. You see what I'm saying? So, go back to Matthew 10 verse 10. Let's start from verse 9. Matthew 10 verse 9.